Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Welcome to all the guests. There's a pasuk in Yecheskel that needs a lot of explanation, and basically, the whole sugi discusses whether an amma is 6 tefachim or an amma is 5 tefachim. The pasuk seems to say that there are two parts of the mizbeach that we use a different measurement. We use the amma of 5 tefachim. What are the two parts? It's the base and the walkway, the yesod and the soivev. Those are the two parts. And the kronis, correct. The kronis also. 5 tefachim instead of 6. We were discussing how it's impossible that's referring to the height of the mizbeach because that gave us a problem in math. It says in the Gemara that the kohen would stand on this walkway, on the soivev, and he was mutter for him to bend over and apply the blood below his feet, 6 tefachim. Now, if you do the math, with this being 5 and this being 5 and everything being 5, then the distance between where he was standing and the red line is only 3 tefachim. It's also to put blood below the red line. If it's blood that belongs above the red line, it must remain above the red line. How in the world could the Brisa say that if you're standing over here, you're allowed to put blood 6 tefachim down when 6 tefachim is below the red line? Therefore, it can't be that we're shortening the mizbeach and making 5 tefachim on the side, 5 tefachim on the side, 5. Let's go back. The entire mizbeach from top to bottom is 6 tefachim per amma. 6 times 10 ammas from top to bottom is 60. 60 divided in 2 is 30. Easy math. If you have 4 ammas from the top to the soivev, to the walkway, 6 times 4 ammas times 6 tefachim is 24. From the 30 point, from halfway, the red mark is halfway from here to here and from here to here, halfway. If it's 30 to the red line and 24 from the top of the mizbeach to the walkway, so from the walkway to the red line is how much? 6 tefachim. That works perfectly. The kohen is on top on the 24 mark. He can bend down 6 tefachim to the 30 mark. Beautiful. We still need to understand the pasuk. The pasuk says that some of the amas of the mizbeach are 5 tefachim. It can't be on the height. It must be on the width. There's the rise and the run. It's not on the rise. We proved it can't be on the rise. It must be on the run. It must be that the yesod, the soivev, is 5, not 6. That form on the bottom is a 32 by 32. What they're building right now is 32 by 32. Then it steps in. It goes up 5 ammas on top of that, and it steps in. There's another piece that goes on top here, like this mizbeach right here. There's 3 stages. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's the second stage. That wood is a form for the next stage. How big is the next stage? The wooden form, 30. What's the math? Simple math. If this is the bottom, this is the base plate, and this, I'm just showing it this way. And then you put another step. You put a step that's 30 by 30. That means that you took off 1 amma from every single direction. If you take off an amma from the bottom, an amma from the top, so 32 minus 2 equals 30. What if you don't take a full amma from the top, you go like this, watch the paper, do it like this. You didn't take off a full amma. It's not like this, you went like this. So this box now is much larger. It's not 30. It's only 30 if you go down like this. Let's say you only took off a half amma. So this box will be 30 and a half amma, or 31 amma. 31 amma. So Gemara asks, if you're telling me that from here to here is not a full amma, that what the pasuk means it's only 5 tefachim, not 6 tefachim. So in fact, it's as if you didn't take off a full amma. You took off less, not a half. You took off less, 1 tefach less. So now you're missing, not missing, but this box, this red box is not 30. It's more than 30. What he's showing here is the mizbech is 32 amas, but if the purple, the purple is normal, 6 tefachim. If everything is normal, we're using 6 tefachim amas, then the middle box, the purple box is going to be 30 by 30. But if you're using 5 tefachim, then it's 30 plus 2 tefachim. And then the Gemara keeps on going on and on. As we get into the center, everything gets worse and worse. It's 28 and 4 tefachim. And the Gemara says, but maybe I'm not dak. I don't care so much about the numbers. I said 26, but I really meant 27. So then what about the center box? The center box is 24. Oh, I'm not dak. It's off by Lama. No, that can't be because the Torah says Mefurish 24. The middle is 24. So I can't say, oh, the Torah wasn't exact. The Torah is always exact. That's what we're holding right now. So says the Gemara, Mamish middle story. 7 lines from the bottom. We have a major issue. The pasuk in Cheskel says that some of the amas are 5, not 6. So maybe we can't go to the height, and we almost can't go to the width. So what do? We do something in between. We see some of the amas, 6 out of the 32 are 5 tefachim amas. I have nothing else to do here. I'm trying my hardest to get this pasuk to work. It's all Kabbalah. It's all like Yecheskel, and so maybe some of the amas are as they were building this, as they were putting the cement truck. It's not a full 32. It's actually 31 total, because 6 out of those 32 amas, 6. We're going to call them 32 amas, but it's really a total of 31. Why? Because 6 amas consist of 5 tefachim, not 6 tefachim. So it's a total of 31. Okay? That's going to solve a lot of our issues, all of our issues so far, because then you don't have the extra tefachim. It's not 28 point this. It's exactly the boxes on top. They do work out. The problem is that if the mizbeach, the base of the mizbeach is 31, not 32, then the calculation of the width of the whole entire Beis Hamikdash is off. We know the width is 187, or the length. The length is 187. That's because we consider the mizbeach 32. But if the mizbeach is only 31, then the whole length is only 186. Problem. So let's see inside. I'm telling you, if you're spacing out now, don't worry. You're going to wake up in a second. We have a lot of cool stuff coming. The problem is the Azara is no good. The calculation that we have with the Azara doesn't make sense. This is the Azara. This not it was 187 long. You see, on top it says 187. Without this screen, I'm going crazy. 187 on top. You see the top number, 187. We're not discussing the width, which is 135. From east to west, 187. Look at all the way on the right. There's dotted lines all the way on the right. 11 amma, 22 feet wide. That's it. That's all the Yisraelis get. The Yisraelim get 22 feet, 11 amma. The Ezra's Kohanim, the other dotted line, is another 11. 11 plus 11, Rabbi, is how much? The width of the Mizbeach is 32. 22 plus 32 is how much? 54. Now, if the Mizbeach is only 31, this whole calculation goes 5. That's the first question. Now let's continue. Between the Mizbeach and the Heichal, how much do we have over there? 22. You see the 22, number 22? That's between the Mizbeach and the Heichal. 22 plus 54 is how much? 76. 100 amma is the length of the entire Heichal. 76 plus 100 is how much? 176. Plus 11, the area behind the Heichal, 187. But if the Mizbeach is 31, this doesn't work. We're 186. That's 22. How is that? 54. 76. 176. Behind the Kodesh Kedoshim is another 11. 187. Ella, says the Gemara, now we're going to do something. We're going to mix it all up. Something, and then that's the last one. That's the end of it. The boys say, here we go. We can look on the chart. Let's start from the bottom. Bottom. When you're talking about the height of the Yisoid, that's an amma of 5 tvachim. And then it switches. Before we try to say the whole top part, the whole bottom part of the Mizbeach is amas of 5. And we did 5 times 6 equals 30. Now, no. Now it's just the bottom. One little piece on the bottom. This, you saw the red part on the bottom is an amma of 5 tefachim. So we just lost 1 tefach. Then from that point on, all the way to the soivev, to the walkway, it's ammas of 6 tefachim. So let's do the math. 6 times 5 is 30, plus the 5 on the bottom is 35. Now, from the soivev, you got where it says number 23, that dotted line over there, that's the soivev, that's the walkway. Now we go up all the way to the horn, only to the horn. Those are ammas of 6. So you have 3 times 6 is how much? 18. But the keren, once again, is a 5er. So if you look at it now, let's do it again. The top is an amma 5. The bottom is an amma 5. That's it. The rest of the entire Mizbeach is amma of 6. So when Yecheskel tells us, and he says specifically, there are 2 things on the Mizbeach that are an amma of 5. What 2? We didn't know. This keren and the bottom Yesod. How wide is the keren? We don't care. That doesn't make a difference to us. The height of the keren is 5. Now what just happened? If you remember before, think about it. Before we said that from the top of the Mizbeach to the walkway was 24 tefachim. 6 times 4. Now we just lost 1 tefach. Why? Because the keren is small, so it's 23. Now, we also lost 1 tefach on the bottom. Before we had, Rabbi said, we had 60 tefachim on the entire Mizbeach. 10 times 6 amma. 10 times amma of 6 tefachim. 60 tefachim. Now we just lost 2 tefachim. 1 from the top, 1 from the bottom. So it's 58. 58 divided by 2 is 29. So the halfway point, this chut hasikra, that's the end of the sugi, Rabbi Isa. This red point, this red line here is at the 29 point. He's standing on the 23 point. So he has 6 tefachim to bend down, and it fits right into that brisa. It's gewaldik. And that explains the pasuk that there are some ams that are 5 tefachim instead of 6. It's referring only to the top, and the bottom. Shalom Yisrael, let's see inside. Elo cheka amma, the 2 words in Yecheskel that says cheka amma, referring to the base, the Yesod, beguva. That we're talking about is a 5 tefachim amma in the height. That's the rise, not the run, the rise. Amma roichav, but when it says that we're talking about the run, over there, that is Knisa, there's actually a 5er on the Soivev, but we don't care about that. We took off 1 tefach over there. Gvula al Sfasa Saviv, that's referring to the horn. The horn on top is only 5 tefachim tall. Now, Loishna Hachi means I don't care if the horn, how wide the horn is. One of them popped off here. Here's the horn. Shmak. I don't care if this is 6 tefachim or 5 tefachim. All I care is that this right over here, from here to here, is 5 tefachim. The width and that I don't care about. Put it right back over here. So now the Gemara does the whole cheshbon. Easy now. If you take 60 tefachim, you take off 2 tefachim because I made the keren shorter, I made the yesod shorter. I'm down to 58. So 58 divided by 2, that's 29. Mikron is that soivev. From the horn on top, the highest part of the mizbeach, to the walkway kama as soon as lasa. It used to be 24, but we just took off 1 tefach because of the horn. Kama basa the palgid mizbeach. From that point, from 23 to 29 is how much? Shita. I have 6 tefachim. Usnan, and it said in the Mishnah, I thought it's a brayso. If the kohen, which I showed the video yesterday, this beautiful video of he does malika to the bird, he goes up and that. If he bends over and smears the bird on the wall of the mizbeach below his feet, he has up to 6 tefachim to do so. Works out great. Takanami, and I'll prove it to you from the pasuk also because it says a different lashon. The chsiv chek ha'ama, the base, and that we're talking about the height. V'ama roichav, and now we're talking about the ledge, the walkway, is also 5. So it uses different lashonos. Chek ha'ama v'ama roichav. So mela, sometimes we're talking about 5 tefachim up. And sometimes we're talking about 5 tefachim to the width, but at the end of the day, we could explain the pasuk away. Brand new sugya. That took us 33 minutes with the emails. Unbelievable. Okay, we're in a little bit of a tzara now, but we'll plug on. So yesterday we mentioned in the Gemara here, there are 3 amas in the Beis Hamikdash. There's a 5er, a 6er, and what else? A 6 and one finger, or a half a finger, we'll see. So this is unbelievable, this thing. I'm going to miss him. From here to here, the Torah tells us 2 amma. How much is 2 amma in Tfachim? It could either be an amma 5 or amma 6. So if you're Rabbi Yehuda, you say it's amma 5, so 2 times 5 is how much? And if it's Rabbi Meir, it's amma 6, so it's 2 times 6 is 12. So from here to here is 12. The width, same thing, 1 amma. It's either 5 wide or 6 wide. So says the Gemara, we mamish learned this. Rabbi Meir Shulchan Arkosh Neimasar. That's why the Rabbi Meir says that the table, the Shulchan, was 12. V'rach b'shisha miklau. So, but if you call it a medium size, you say 6 is a medium. What else is there besides 5 and 6? Miklau the have amid in the fisher mino. There's a amid larger in yes, but nan shtei amois hoy b'shushan abir. There's 2 measuring sticks. What do you use a measuring stick for? I don't know. Like tailors use it. Different for pools. You know, stick in a stick that has lines on it. So there's 2 of them. Because this the entrance is on the east. So northeast, meaning to the right of the doorway. Left of the doorway. Now, Moshe's amma is 24 etzbais. Etzba is like the thumb. A typical thumb, the width of a thumb, width. Amma is 24 of those. So he added a half a thumb. Half a thumb, let's call it 2%. He added 2% more. How much is, you know math, is it, what's, from 24 to 25 is how much? 1%, is it 4%? 4%. Okay, so half of that is 2%. So the one of the measuring sticks was a half a finger wider, and the other one was a full finger. One was 2% more, one was 4% more. Why did they do that? When I'm a contractor and I come to Beis Hamikdash and they ask me to build a wall, so I take out the measuring stick, the Beis Hamikdash measuring stick. Okay, I'll build from here to here. It'll cost the Beis Hamikdash $10,000. But in fact, I have to give the Beis Hamikdash another 4%. I have to build a wall 4% longer. I use the other one. There's one for this, one for that. There's 2 measuring sticks. When I hire you as a contractor, you're going to use this stick. When you show me what you produced, I'm going to use the next one. Make sure that you gave me 4% more. Why? Anyways, the Beis Hamikdash always wins. Yeah, when you do business with Beis Hamikdash, you know that it's going to cost you a little bit more than what. Okay, so why do you need 2 sticks? You have the regular Moshe Rabbeinu stick that's 24 fingers, and you have another one that's 25. Why do you need 24 and a half and 25? Okay, because if somebody's going to be building with gold, build a shulchan that's made out of gold, he's not going to give 4% more, take 4% less. You have to be nicer to him. So it's 2%. But we're talking about stones, it's a cheaper material. We're going to go, you have to give 4% more. That also. This is a depiction of Shushan Abir. My time, why? They argue, you have to remember where you come from and respect that. You should fear them. In other words, the king, when he lets Klal Yisrael leave and go to Eretz Yisrael, he said, but on condition that you remember me and put a picture of me and you fear me. Oh, sorry. So it's he's saying that you should always fear the king. When Moshe Rabbeinu told Paroi, you're going to see all your slaves are going to come to me in their pajamas in the middle of the night. And they're going to bow to me. He didn't say, he didn't say, you are going to bow to me in your pajamas. In fact, he did come to him. But you don't talk like that to a king. You have to give respect. Another rai, even more maybe. This is right after the whole famous story in Hara Carmel. And we had Achav, who's the king, but a Rasha. V'yishanes Moshe v'yoretz l'fnei Achav, and Eliyahu picked up his clothing and he ran, because Baruch Hu gave him special koiches to run. It says, there's going to be a very small, like, water, not a leak, like water going through the Beis Hamikdash, and eventually it's going to widen and widen to the point you can't cross it, and a stream, thank you, and there's going to be trees growing from this water, source of water, and you take a leaf and it'll be medicine for you. The word trufa is lahatir peh. Trufa. Lahatir peh. What does it mean? It's going to fix the mouth. Rav Chisda, Rav Yitzchak, Rav Dimi, chad omar lahatir peh shlamala, v'chad omar lahatir peh shlamata. It means your mouth that you speak from. So if a person is a mute, he'll be able to speak. Or if a woman can't give birth, her womb is closed, then it'll fix that. Ismar, Chizki Omar, and over here the Gemara says in Mefurish, not Lamalo, Lamata, but rather Lahatepeh Ilmim, Bakabara, Lahatepeh Akarais. It's going to help an Akara. Let's just do this Balpeh because it's super, super simple, and it's almost like a freebie. You got like 12 lines that would fly through here. This is the two psukim. It says in the psukim, Shtem Esrei Chalos is 12 breads on the shulchan. This shulchan right over here, 12 breads. Each one. I don't know how he did it. It's crazy stuff. 12. But there's a extra lashon here. Shtayim marachos, 2 rows like this. 1, 2. Sheisha marachos, 6 breads per each one. What? How would you say it? If you wanted to say in English that there should be 12 breads, 2 rows, and each row 6 breads, how would you say it? Now, could I get away with not saying shtei marachos? Could I get away without saying shesha marachos? It already says shtei Mesrei Chalos and it says shtei marachos. So that the idea is that if it says shtei Mesrei Chalos and only 2 marachos, I don't know how many per. I could do 8 on one and 4 on the other. Or perhaps it means 3 that are 6. 3 that are 4, because let's say it doesn't say sheish marachos, it just says shtei Mesrei Chalos, shtei marachos. So, or because let's see inside. That's the whole thing. 11 lines to explain one thing, that it's 2 rows of 6 and a total of 12. If it didn't say 6, it doesn't say 6 and 6. Maybe it should be 1. You could even do 1, 4, and 1, 8, which is a total of 12, as long as it's total. That's why it says 6. It has to be 6 each. If it doesn't say 12, it just says 2 rows of 6. Maybe shtayim marachos means 12 plus shesha marachos another 6, a total of 18. So now I have to give you a total 12. It doesn't say 2. I would think it means 3 times 4. You'll have your 12, but not 2 rows. 3 rows of 4. It has to be 2 rows of 6. Well, actually, it doesn't say all 3 of these things. I wouldn't know. Okay, so how do you do it? 2 rows of 6, 6. But if you did 4 and 8, loy yasa. Now, Rabbi Yisai, think about it. What if you did 2 rows of 7? Good or not good? Big chiddush. It's good. You could do it because we just pretend that there's nothing on top. Ask the Gemara, you have to put the bezichin, the levina, on top. Now, it has to be on top of the 6th one, not on top of the 7th one. It has to be on top of the lakam bottom. If there's 7 rows, how are you putting on top? No, the bezichin was over here. This is not a problem. So I told my chavrusa, as we're learning, just stop. So it's mashma that according to the Mandoama that you have to do like this. You have to do on top. So you can't have 7. So of course. The Tanya, Rabbi Yomer, v'nesata al hamarachas levoyna zako al b'samach. Al doesn't mean. This is just a question that those who know don't answer. We had the same sugi like a day ago, 2 days ago, and the Gemara brought a raya that al does not mean on top, it means next to. What was the raya from? From the Shvatim, very good. The Shvatim, it can't be that Menashe is on top of Ephraim or Ephraim is on top of Menashe. It says that one is Al. It means next to. Over here the Gemara uses a different one. Maybe it means literally on top. You should put the paroiches, the curtain, on top of the aron. You know, the famous aron in the Kodesh HaKadoshim that had contained the luchas, the Sefer Torah. You don't put a paroiches on top of it. It means next to it. It's the wall that divides the heichal from the Kodesh HaKadoshim. It's next to it. Says the Gemara, if the Beis Hamikdash goes in this direction, the heichal, 187, we said, this way, 187, so the kli has to be this way, not this way. It goes with the length, from east to west, not from north to south, or south to north. Okay. Says the Gemara, it actually was not positioned like this, it was positioned like this. How do I know? It's poles, right? You see these poles? These are the poles of the Mizbech HaKtoros. We're not talking about the Mizbech HaKtoros, but it has poles. So it's a good thing. Because of the poles. Well, the Gemara says, what are you talking about? My Kamar? Holy Kamar. Here. I'll show you a picture, maybe it's better. But there's two ways the poles could have been. Like this, or like this. How would you guys do it? This way? This is easier. Like you go in and out of doors. The problem is that there was a kohen holding this pole and a kohen holding this pole. And they stood between the poles. There's not enough room here to stand. There's only 1.5 amma. It cannot be this way. So it must be this way. Oh. So now that I know that it's this way, to the length, it's on the long part. The two poles are on the long part. And I know that the two poles poked the paroiches. You could see a little bit of an indentation in the paroiches. So I know it was stationed like this and not like this. Because the paroiches was over here, going this way. Yeah? So it must be that the aron was not this way, because then it wouldn't poke the paroiches. It was this way, north, south. Great. There's a picture too. Here. This is where the poles are on the long way of the aron, and this is the short way of the aron. This is on the width. This can't be because you can't stand between the poles. It must be like this. Now you see the paroiches behind? The poles went into the paroiches, into the red curtain over there, give it a little poke. Now, this is interesting. Did I skip something? How do you know that the badim were like that? So when they got there, they look at this, they extended the badim. They took it out of the, here's a nicer one, might as well use this. I love this, it's unbelievable. Just it's not so user friendly. Wow, it's heavy also. These badim, they came out like this, and they were extended when they came. Okay, Taisus says on top, you can look at Taisus, that it was a nace. They didn't fall. Okay. Fine. Says the Gemara, maybe these poles didn't touch the paroiches. When you're outside of the Kodesh HaKadoshim, you're in the heichal, you could actually see the indentation in the paroiches of the poles. Oh, you literally saw the poles. Maybe there's two holes in the paroiches, and the poles came out and you were able to see it. You don't see it. Do you see it or you don't see it? Okay, Sad, how does it work? They push out the similar to a woman. It actually fits into the pasuk. Special besamim, fragrance. Doidi li. Shlomo saying that Hakadosh Baruch Hu, Doidi, my beloved, Hakadosh Baruch Hu is like a beautiful perfume. Bein Shodayolin. Hakadosh Baruch Hu rests between the two poles of the aron. Kaviyachol. Umenon the battle of the pussy the aron havi yasvi. How do you know that these poles were like this, not like this? Maybe they went with the length of the ark. How could two people stand inside that small area of 1.5 amma? How do you know 4 people? Oh, we had a different picture that Kobe did back in the day. This is in our Gemara. It's based on the Mesivta picture because the way I understood it is that each person put a pole on one shoulder, not on 2 like this. So they're actually standing towards the Aron. So it's not exactly like that. I don't know where he got it from. What? Yeah, if you did tell him that's okay. Fine, a little machlokes between him and. But the idea, it's l'saber zaynayim again. This is the idea. 4 kohanim. How do you know 4? Maybe it's 1 on each side. Tosiv and also hakahasim. Hakahasim is plural. Trey 2. Noisei amigdosh. Noisei is plural. Nami trey. Tarabanon. Okay. So we know that Moshe Rabbeinu had 1 shulchan and 1 menorah. But for whatever reason, I guess Shlomo Melech got this the Kabbalah from Moshe Rabbeinu that when he builds the Beis Hamikdash, he should add another 10 tables without bread, 10 tables, and another 10 menorahs. There's 10 tables. Now, where did he put these tables? Where did he put these extra menorahs? 5 on the right, 5 on the left. Now, you and I, when we read this, it's just normal reading. When you walk into the Heichal, 5 on the right, 5 on the left. That would be the normal way of understanding it. Here, something like this: 5 on the right, 5 on the left. That's impossible. Why? And we're going to do the same exact thing with the menorah, just the opposite. Why? Because we know the shulchan is on top of the picture on the north, and the menorahs are on the south. You could even see one on the north, one on the south, all the way on the left. That's impossible. 5 of them come out on the south. The table should be on the north. I don't have a good picture for the shulchan, but I'll show you what it looks like with the menorah. Same idea. Moshe Rabbeinu smack in the middle with the lighter color base, and 5 menorahs on the right of him, and 5 menorahs on the right, not of the door, of the Moshe's menorah. That's left and right. So now we do the same exact thing with the menorah. And the menorahs of the Shlomo. There's 10. 5 on the right, 5 on the left. Did you mean this? 5 on the right, 5 on the left of the door? Then you have menorahs on the north. It should be across from the shulchan on the south. So that we do have a great picture for this one right over here. It means the menorah was on the wall, on the southern wall, and the 5 are on the south, and the 5 are on the south, but 5 are on the right of Moshe, and 5 on the left. Oh, now, this is also super easy. We have a contradiction. Check this out. This is the Heichal and the Kodesh HaKadoshim. Kodesh HaKadoshim, Rabbi say, is 20 amas wide. The Heichal, 40. Together, 60. It's 3 boxes of 20, basically, if you want to do it. Something like this. So, on the one hand, it says that all the menorahs in the Shulchan were on the left of that red line, where it says Shlish, with the arrow, big red arrow, to the left of it. But it calls it on the other side of the halfway point. And in one place it says on the other side of the third. Which one is it? Very simple. If you're just viewing the Heichal itself without the Kodesh HaKadoshim, that's the halfway point. Now you have a box of 40. Halfway is 20. It's on the other side. It's on the left of that box. But if you consider the Kodesh HaKadoshim, so it's 60. So that red line is the third. It's behind, to the left of that red third line. Let's see. It's not a contradiction. If you consider the Kodesh HaKadoshim also, so you have 60 total, so it's a third. We have 3 minutes. Let's see what we can do. The Shulchanos were Mizrach Tamayrav, meaning like this. Oh, this is like that. Okay, good. He did throw this in somewhere. I don't know what this Moshe Rabbeinu is one. Okay, Mizrach l'mayrav. You see this? East to west. Perfect. Divrei Rebbe. Rebbe Shimon Omer. Tzafim v'darim. Let me see if I can find the tzafim v'darim one. Like this. Gevaldik. Tzafim to darim. North to south. My time the Rebbe. Where did he come up with this? Gomer Menorah. He learned it from the Menorah. Ma Menorah Mizrach l'mayrav. Just like the Menorah was east to south, west. Avadinami Mizrach l'mayrav. East to south. Umenorah Guv Menorah. How did I know the Menorah is east to south in the Chsiv? B'ner Ma'aravi Yarch Oisoi L'fnei Hashem. You hear this? The Torah tells us there's one candle out of the Menorah was on the west. How's that possible? If the Menorah was like this, right up against the curtain, let's say, every single one of those candles, every single one of the neiros is on the west. Neither of them, none of them are closer or further away from the parochas than each other. But if it's like this, if the menorah is situated east to west, one of the candles, one of the lights, one of the flames is closer to the parochas, like in that arrow, and it's called the western light. Not all of them are next to the Kodesh HaKadoshim, only one. But if the menorah goes like this, we have a lot of pictures, but I didn't like them. The ones that are in the Gemara are very hard. So this is in our Gemara, so I couldn't understand it so well. It wasn't so clear. This is clear. Then all of them are in front of Hashem, so it doesn't work out that it should be this direction, therefore it must be this direction. And if the menorah is in that direction, the shulchan is also in that direction, east-west. He learns from the Aron inside. We already said the Aron was different than all the Kalim. It wasn't straight like this, it was like this. So Mela, Ma'ara, and Sovim Dar. I found it out in Sovim Dar. How come Rebbe doesn't learn the Shulchan from the Aron inside? Beautiful, the Aron. He says, Darim Chutz V'chutz. The Aron is inside the Kodesh HaKodashim. How am I going to learn something that's in the Heichal from the Kodesh HaKodashim? It's an inner room. Darim Chutz V'chutz, and Darim Chutz Mifnim. Rebbe Lezer, Rebbe Shimon Ligim Menorah, let him learn Menorah. Amalach, Menorah Gufa, Tzafim Darim Have a Mancha. The Menorah itself was situated Tzafim Darim, north-south. The menorah was north-south. But we had the question. What was our proof before? Only one of the flames was next to the curtain. Not all. According to you, all the flames were next to the curtain. No, the pshat is the Mitzvah Dude. If you're looking at Gemara, you have a picture. The Mitzvah Dude means, let's see if I have a good picture here. The wicks. I don't have a great one. I'm going to show you the... Here, not this piece, it's from the art scroll. One wick was towards the black line, Tzafim Darim, and the rest of the wicks were towards the middle one, so it's called, that's why the middle one is called the Menorah, because its wick is pointing towards the Kodesh HaKodashim, with other wicks weren't. Let's just finish this line here. And one last thing. The middle one is the most important one. Rabbi Shai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shiur today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDY Daf.com.